What's going on, everyone? This is Mitch. I hope you all have had a great day. We're starting to round out the work week. Still not a lot to talk about, but let me tell you, there's going to be a little sneaky event tomorrow that really can affect the Carolinas, maybe Virginia, mainly North Carolina. We're going to talk a little bit about that. Maybe some severe storms, maybe some storms that could produce hail, depending on what part of North Carolina you're in, maybe even parts of South Carolina, maybe parts of Virginia. So we're going to talk a little bit on that. Right now, there are some severe storms going on in the Mid-South and Deep South. We'll talk a little bit on that, and we'll just break some things down for you guys and try to make conversation of what is actually going on, which isn't a ton, as we try to figure out what's going to be the next major weather event. So if you guys have not subscribed, definitely consider doing that. Like the video if you like it, and thank you all for the incredible support, even when it's slow. Thank you all for still watching the video, even if it's just a couple hundred views. There's still some of y'all who are very faithful and keep watching my stuff, so it's much appreciated. Also, if you guys have anything I can pray about, anything anybody else can pray about, please put it in the comments, so it gives me an opportunity to pray for you individually. It gives other people a way to reach out to you. Prayer is powerful, for sure. So let's get going. So right now, right this moment, you have this going on. You have a line of storms. It's not really producing any lightning. It doesn't even look that intimidating on radar. But what it's doing is producing a lot of wind, as you basically have a reinforcing cold front that's moving through. It's going to bring much even drier air into the Carolinas and the further areas south and east. But it's causing a lot of issues with wind. There's a lot of reports of wind damage with this. There's severe thunderstorm warnings along it, stretching all the way into Mississippi and Alabama, and all the way up to even Kentucky through Tennessee. So it's not that big of a deal, but definitely if you're out ahead of this, like in Chattanooga, Huntsville, probably hitting Huntsville now. Maybe watch out for Atlanta later, but I'm pretty sure this is going to die out. But watch out for the western slopes of the mountains. This might be get a little windy here in a couple hours. But outside of that, what we're going to talk about is tomorrow. There's a marginal risk in North Carolina, a very small section, and I think the main reason is this because there's a chance of hail, maybe some strong winds. And the reason being is because there's going to be a lot of dry air in place. People can get all fancy with the terminology and what makes it hail, the good lapse rates. But really, it's the simple things you can look at, like if it's storming and the dew points are pretty low, and in the upper atmosphere it gets really dry, normally you have a high chance of hail and storms. So it causes cooling faster because there's more dry air, and you have more chance for hail is basically much more easily obtainable in storms, even if they're weaker storms, even if they're not even severe warned. So let's check out. You got this little small area in North Carolina tomorrow. This is going to be for late morning tomorrow into tomorrow afternoon and evening. So what we got going on here is we're getting into, you might have some showers even as early as overnight into tomorrow morning. But you got this energy that works its way through here, and even as early as mid to late morning, you have some decent looking returns right here. Popping up if you're around the Fayetteville area, north of Florence, Greenville, North Carolina, around Raleigh. As early as the morning hours, you're going to have some storms popping off, and they might produce small hail. I don't see large hail or anything like that, but they might produce some gusty winds and hail. This is going to move through, and it's probably going to make it all the way to Wilmington, Newport, maybe into the Outer Banks. And I really think that this is going to be not a major event at all, but it's going to be a very localized event, relatively speaking. And I think even the smallest showers can produce hail. So it's just something we need to watch out for even more. Look at this little blue right here in West Virginia. Yes, the higher elevations of West Virginia could see a little snow. Even the higher elevations in the mountains could see little upslope snow. Yeah, any of these storms right here, these little showers could cause hail in Virginia and North Carolina. And what you got going on here is that's moving through and much more dry air filters in. So you look at this right here, this is going to be dew points. If it would ever pull up, that would be great. So this is dew points for the same time period. You have almost like an inverted trough right here trying to sneak in on the coast and promotes a little bit more moist air. But it's still dry, relatively speaking here, and it's still spring-like. It's still going to, I really think these storms could be very, very photogenic too, just because I think there's going to be a lot of clear skies around these storms. So, if you live in the North Carolina area, this might be and you were off tomorrow, this might be a nice day to storm chase. It's not going to be that bad. It's not going to be that severe, and you can just check out the cool cloud formations if you're off. That's just my opinion. But dew points are dry, which normally promotes hail, small hail. So you got much more dry air that works in tomorrow evening, and it's going to set up to be a kind of a chilly weekend. So you look right here. I want to show you soundings that kind of show you what I'm talking about with this hail. So you kind of back it off here, right here, and this is kind of when the storms get going. So this is around 9, 10, 11 a.m. Click at soundings here in southeast North Carolina and check out the temperatures. First of all, they're only 64 degrees, but the dew point's 52, and look how dry it gets. Basically, the higher up this gets, the higher up in the atmosphere it is. But look how the dew points drop. So the air is extremely dry in the upper atmospheres, and it causes cooling. So basically, it causes raindrops to, basically they cause them to freeze, and it causes hail. It's not going to be sleet. It's just going to be hail. So hail can be basically formed even just the smallest showers tomorrow. So definitely watch out for that. I don't think it's going to be hail that could damage any cars or anything like that anyways. But it could be a sneaky little severe weather event tomorrow in North Carolina for sure. So definitely be aware. Don't let this sneak up on you, because it really wasn't in the forecast, say, a day or two ago, really. This is going to be a very small, localized event. So definitely be weather aware. And just watch out if you see a big old dark cloud coming for you if you're in basically the coastal plains of North Carolina and the Piedmont tomorrow. But that's all I got. Hope you guys have a great evening, and thank y'all for tuning in.